I'm Elizabeth Warburton and welcome to Season 3 of Property Elevator. In Season 2, we saw many property professionals face the angels to try and secure that all-important funding for their property projects. And this year, we're back for more. Now, we've seen over the last year just how important it is to have your money working for you. With inflation rising and bank interest levels at their lowest in years, it's never been more important to put your money to good use. This is why so many people turn to property investing. It's not easy though. You often need both the finance and the knowledge to take that deal over the line. And that's where our angels fly down to help you. In this show, we give property professionals the chance to pitch their deals to our 5 seasoned property investors. Helen Chorley, John Howard, Paul Mahoney, Ranjan Bhattacharya and Nicholas Wallwork, or who we call our property investment angels. These developers have the chance to walk away with the backing of someone who can bring both the finance and experience to their deal. You're watching Property Elevator.
Hi, I'm John Howard. I've been a property developer and investor for 40 years, and during that time I've bought and sold in the region of 4,000 properties.
My name's Paul Mahoney. I'm a property investor. I also founded Nova Financial Group, which is a property investment advisory company.
My name's Helen Chorley. I'm a professional property investor. I'm also a co-founder of the Property Sisters UK community, supporting women and SME developers in the industry.
My name's Nicholas Wallwork. I'm an investor, developer and owner of propertyforum.com and the development brand Redbrick.
My name is Ranjan Bhattacharya. I'm a property entrepreneur, an investor and developer for the last 30 years.
Firstly, without being a school teacher, you've made an error in your numbers on the pack.
The rest can do what they want. I don't really care.
If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it is a duck.
Why would you go for the extension if there's not much to be gained on the number side of things?
There needs to be a bit more meat on the bone and a bit less complications.
If you came in and said it's 400,000, then we'd be talking.
Welcome to episode 4. Let's see who our first pitch of the day is.
My name's Sukha. I'm a doctor as my day job.
Okay.
And recently just got into property. Me and my brother sort of completed on a deal about a few months ago.
Congrats.
So something very new to us, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you've been doing it together?
Together, yeah, it was our first one. My dad's kind of had a few buy-to-lets in the past, so it's something we've always been around, but not taken the plunge.
So tell us about the deal that you've brought today then for the Angels.
So today the deal that I'm bringing is a sort of mixed-use commercial and residential property. Looking to take advantage of the new permitted development rights coming in sort of from August to see whether there's an angle of converting it to residential to add some value.
Okay, and how much are you looking for back in today?
Ideally it would be sort of the full amount, so somewhere around 485,000 with some renovation costs, but we do have a small amount of money, but hopefully looking for the full amount.
Yeah, and not only the full amount, but you'll also get the experience
of course,
of one of the Angels too, fingers crossed.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
I'll be here as you leave and we'll have a chat on the way out.
Brilliant, cheers.
We've now got Sukha coming in. Looks to me like it's a freehold shop. I think he wants to develop the basement. I think upstairs is been sold on long leases, but they are relatively short long leases, if you get my meaning. In Greenwich, shall we get them in?
Hi Sukha, thanks for coming in today. Lovely to meet you.
And you as well.
Tricky times this year with COVID, but you're still doing deals. It's good to see.
Just finished our first one a few months ago, so very new into it.
So you've done a deal already. What was that? Can you tell me about that?
That was, so we completed on that 3 months ago. That was a commercial property. My brother and I, we kind of set up a company and purchased that. It was a vacant commercial property.
Can you just tell me about the size and value of the last deal you did to give me an idea of your track record?
Sure, yes, 415,000, and that was about just under 2,000 square foot of property that we bought.
Really helpful, okay. And one final question before I let Helen dive into the numbers. You said you're doing this with your brother. Are we essentially looking to invest in yourself and your brother's company, or is it just yourself today?
So that was kind of what we wanted. Again, I'd be open to see what you guys think, but that was.
So you've ditched your brother already?
Definitely not.
You've already been in the door 2 minutes?
Definitely not.
Oh,
I
blood is thicker than water, I thought.
No, I think our family unit is very much sort of cohesive. So we'll join and separate at different paths, but we'll always help each other out.
And what was your background before property?
My day job is I'm a doctor.
Right.
And this was kind of our first deal. So not sort of full-time into property, just kind of starting out really.
So Suk, tell us a little bit more about what this deal is all about.
This is a mixed-use freehold property which has a use class E retail shop on the ground floor. I think the lady was an artist who owns it, and she was selling her artwork from there. The basement is a sort of one-bedroom flat.
So just to be specific, you say it's a one-bedroom flat, but it's part of the shop. It's not. It doesn't have planning use as a one-bedroom flat.
I think the actual planning use is as a C3 residential for the basement.
Okay.
In terms of the deal, so what we would be looking to do in order to add value would be making use of the sort of forthcoming permitted development prior approval in August, using Class MA to convert the ground floor shop into a residential studio. So, given the space constraints, I think the ground floor is 38 square metres, which I think would be just enough for a studio.
What is the score with the freehold and the leases upstairs?
The property has 4 floors, so the two floors on top is a single flat.
Right.
It's quite a large flat. I think it's around about 1,000 square foot,
Nice
or just
size
over.
flat.
And that actually has a short lease on it, so it's got.
How long has the lease got to go on?
So it's 67 years left.
Okay, so that's good news. So
Yeah.
obviously you can. It's likely that you could either buy that flat back in again when they decide to sell, because they can't sell to anyone else, unless of course they apply to have an lease extension. Going forward, the government are going to bring the new rules out. Not out yet, but they're going to bring new rules out. 999 year lease at £0 rent. So you've got to bear that in mind. And also, on a property like that with 67 years to go, you'd probably get 60 or 70,000 potentially for a lease extension. But under the new rules, that's going to be reduced. We don't know what that's going to be. It's going to be a different calculation to the one that they make it out for now. So just be careful on that. But there's certainly some value on the upper floors in terms of lease extension for you. So that's good.
That wasn't something I've added in.
Have you calculated that into your figures or not?
I haven't.
No, I didn't see it. Helen would have said if you had, probably.
I did kind of make a note of it, but I didn't add it in.
No, okay. No one wants you to overinflate anything, but we do need to know the full facts.
Sure.
So that we can then ascertain, whether to invest or not.
I kind of agree that potentially the 30 grand is a little bit light with the renovation, depending on what needs to be done to the property, especially given there's a change of use. There might be some extra things that need to be done there to bring it to standard. The fact your brother's involved concerns me a little bit, because it means that if I was to invest, there's 3 parties involved in the deal, and the margins aren't huge already. So that's just one note.
But Paul, that depends on what
of course, it depends
offer you're going to make for them to share the deal.
It depends on the split. I suppose that's not what we've heard. We haven't heard that yet, have we? I conservatively added in another 30 grand of total costs, which brings that down to 18%. But which again, you're getting a bit slim.
It is, but to be fair to Sukha, he's got nothing in for the freehold revision upstairs.
That's true, but that may not happen.
The thing with that freehold revision is we don't know when. It's like popcorn. You don't know when it's going to pop.
Yeah.
It may pop in the first 3 months. It may not pop for another 5-10 years, because you can't force the issue.
No,
you
can't.
The rules and the cost that.
Well,
the
good news for you is I'm going to put some of that in my calculations for you.
I'm glad.
The rest can do what they want. I don't really care, because the only person is going to be doing the deal if we do it is you and me, not
Brilliant.
these lots, by the sound of things. So we'll see what happens.
Well, we haven't finished yet. So
Just putting my foot forward.
I am fascinated by the proposal in terms of what you're planning to do. It looks to me that the shop and the basement are connected. So in terms of what it is, it's basically one planning unit.
All of the other properties have is the whole of the basement is a C3 defined, residential dwelling.
And you know that because?
Because the estate agent actually showed me the lease plan for the property. I think it was 2 doors down or next door.
What I'd be looking for is, evidence from, say, the valuations office website. Is there separate council tax? What's on the planning records for that particular property? This is very, very important because it's the layout, the floor plans that you've shown shows the basement is connected to the shop. So that means it looks, if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. So it's basically one planning unit.
Valuation office I did have a look at, and that is, they're only paying rates on, I think it was 24 square metres.
That's still not the issue because remember, the basement may be non-rateable. There are many areas of commercial buildings which are just non-rateable because they don't have a commercial use. So that could be just delisted for, that's not proof of what you're saying. The reason this is important is because under permitted development, which you want to go for, if you want to get a flat in the basement, you cannot assume that there's a flat already there unless there's something that definitely says it's there.
There was one other slight giveaway possibly, was that there's actually 2 separate utilities meters as well. So
Good.
One for the basement,
Good.
one for the upstairs. So that was another giveaway. I did actually email the agent 2 days ago to ask if there was any kind of proof or, if there was a planning application or anything.
Someone will swear an affidavit to say that's the basement's been used as a flat independently for more than 12 years. It's got a certificate of lawful use you can get from the council. And if you've got someone like the present owner or one before that who was happy to swear an affidavit saying, because it's true, of course, it has to be true, that it has been used for independent flat for more than 12 years, you will potentially get planning for that. You will have as good as planning. You can get a mortgage on it and everything else on that basis, so you can sell it off on that basis.
Is it 10 years?
Well, it's not. No, it's not.
It's 4 if it's resi
it's
to
4,
resi.
Yeah, it's
Commercial
not.
to resi is 10.
It's technically 10, but I like 12 because that way there's no argument about it.
Yeah,
if it's just 10, they can say, well, are you sure it's not 9? If you say 12 and you get the sworn affidavit on 12, then everyone knows what they're doing.
No
so
argument,
that's one angle that I think you might have on the basement, because otherwise, you have to go for the full planning application, and it will create, more costs for you, and obviously also there is a chance you won't get it. You probably will get it, but what do you think on that?
Well, first of all, you're right on the 10 years because,
Thank you.
Because it
Nicholas.
is connected. It's change of use.
Yeah.
If it was separately split, then it would be 4 years, which it's not. So John's right on that one. The other thing is getting 10 years is going to be quite hard because you have to demonstrate continuous usage.
Yeah.
And you may need more than just the affidavit, but that's a planning consultant that you need to get. The problem is that if you cannot demonstrate that 10 years use as a basement flat, looking at the floor plan, it's unlikely that it would meet the natural light requirements to get it under permitted development. Looking at where the windows
I mean,
are.
there's a light well that does give quite a lot of natural light. Looking at the floor plan, I'm not sure if you can see there's a sort of quite a large window, and there is a door that's not on that floor plan as well, which is giving quite a lot of natural light. Then there's a sort of conservatory on the back as well, which is giving.
Yeah.
What's your return on cost or return on GDV for this?
Depending on whether an extension is done or not, so 700 or 706 or 760,000, and in terms of the cost, that would be 540 or 570,000.
And your return on cost and return on GDV?
Again, I would have to look that up. I think I may have put it in my pack, but I don't have the number on.
It's definitely not in your pack.
Is it not?
So it's 23% return on GDV, 29% return on cost, and it's about the same for either option as far as I can see, which then begs the question for me, why would you go for the extension if there's not much to be gained on the number side of things?
Being sort of slightly inexperienced and being my first property, I wanted to come, I didn't want to give you numbers that you will totally find sort of unreasonable.
Conservative is always good. And have you got any contingency in there? Like the renovation looks quite light to me, if I'm honest, for 30k for option 1.
That's not something that I've put in there. The reason the renovation was quite low, and I was going to put it higher actually, was because when I went into the property was actually in very good condition.
Okay.
It's it's been plastered recently. The windows have been done.
Right.
Everything seems to be in order. And also, again, I don't know whether this will be of any interest, but my dad does a lot of building work himself.
Okay.
So he,
It's
can...
very relevant.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So he could definitely help with things like that as well.
I'm interested, how do you actually get to the basement? If you're splitting this practically, where are you going to put the entrance?
There's a sort of a common shared access to the rear of, I think there's 3 or 4
From the
properties.
from the street or from the back?
Not from this main street where the front is.
From an alleyway and then in.
Yeah, so all of the properties access their basement through.
Yeah, not so attractive, is it?
Is the postman going to like that? Going down a dodgy
I'm not worried
back
about
alley?
the postman. No one gets anything delivered anymore, Nicholas. You should know
No,
that. You're much
sorry,
younger than me.
It's emails, isn't it now, John?
Emails now,
Yeah.
apparently, so I'm
No, I
told.
mean, it's not ideal, but it does sort of create. I think because of the other 3 flats on that sort of parade
They all
are
do the
also
same thing.
using it. It's not as sort of dark and dingy as I thought it would be.
Okay.
Firstly, without being a school teacher, you've made an error in your numbers on the pack.
Right,
You
apologies.
put the remortgage value of the.
Don't worry, you can
75%.
save lives, he can't.
Yeah,
So don't worry about
it's true.
that.
It's true.
But it's
So you're
pertinent
kind of-
to the exit.
The
exactly.
exit plan
Sure.
leaves nothing in rather than the 14k out that you suggested. So I think, based on that kind of number, that rules out the 2-bed option, which is what you were basing that on.
I thought that you could only get a studio if it was 38 square metres and you couldn't have a 1-bed.
No, it's the minimum size is 37. It can be a studio or a 1-bed.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
Well, then,
I don't know.
definitely
Yeah.
would go for a 1-bed there.
And a 1-bed's going to be, I know it's the same square footage, Sukha, but it will be worth more money. So I don't think you've done yourself, to be fair, you haven't done yourself the best in coming in without the best figures, without being over.
If the exit is a remortgage, the rents won't suffice for a standard buy-to-let mortgage. You'll probably be forced to go for, at the very least, a 5-year fixed product where the lender will lend to you at the pay rate rather than the benchmark of 5.5%. The other potential issue is if you do go with the studio or even a 1-bed at 38 square metres and the rents are at that level, you're really reducing your pool of lenders because it's a small unit with the rent that doesn't quite stack up. So that's, if you're selling, that's not so much a problem so far. Well, it's the buyer's problem.
I didn't quite understand what you meant to start with on
Sorry,
that.
so-
it's a bit complicated for me.
All right, so there was some changes with regards to mortgages a few years
Right.
ago, where most buy-to-let mortgages you now need to meet a minimum benchmark rate of 5.5%. Even
Okay,
if you're
got it.
borrowing at 2 or 3, you need rent that will meet a certain benchmark.
Stress test.
testing,
Okay,
exactly.
sorry, I understand.
Now, there's more flexibility on 5-year products than there are
Right.
on others.
Gotcha.
Because some 5-year products, they will stress test at the rate they're actually lending to you at. So that's my point, is the pool of lenders or products, more specifically, for these types of properties, it will be much smaller than your standard buy-to-let.
Okay.
What is your preferred exit? Because you've got the refinance and then you've got the sale, but on both of the refinance, there's money left in the deal.
I would prefer sale, but I think I've come here today to try and get as much experience and knowledge from you guys, and I'll definitely take on board what you would think would be the best.
I think the 2-bed's out because the rent's only, 900 quid more a year,
Yeah.
if that's correct. I mean, I don't see how that can be right, by the way. How have you calculated the
So
yearly
those figures were, again, like I said, were off a website which uses kind of average rental data.
One thing to take away is learn to be practical, look at numbers and sense check them yourself, because for a yearly rent between a studio or a 1-bed and a 2-bed is going to be more than 900 quid a year.
Yeah.
Sense checking that. So the data's not always right. It can be a good indicator, but get on the ground, speak to 5 local agents, get them out to see the property, say, I'm looking to buy this, what do you think they'll rent for? Get real opinions behind you, and that'll help form your own opinion, because data can be quite misleading sometimes for the better.
You're talking about extending the ground floor, isn't it?
No, it's the basement floor.
So the basement, is that involving a dig?
No. So the how can I explain this?
Property slope away at the back.
It
slopes away.
slopes
So
away.
The basement is the ground floor at the back.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
the basement
Okay.
at the ground floor, so the basement at the back is ground floor.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I think in the pack as well, the next door property have
I see what they've done,
just
yeah.
built the extension
Okay.
there. There was actually, which was a shame, there was planning permission for a double-storey extension on the basement and ground level.
Over both units?
Over. So it was a combined application
Yeah,
with next
next
door.
door,
So
yeah.
to do sort of a double story, that elapsed and they didn't. And then next door have just put in permission and built their sort of
Just their bit.
basement bit.
Okay. While this lot are still thinking about it, what price are you paying for it? Remind me.
I've been told by the agent 485 with a subject to planning offer would.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't see this as a deal for me. If you came in and said it's 400,000, then we'd be talking, seriously talking. However, I think as a joint venture partner, you'd be a great joint venture partner. You're intelligent. You've got it all going on for you. Unfortunately, today this one isn't for me, but I wouldn't be dissuaded if you come back on another show with a little bit more knowledge,
Of course, yeah.
and giving the property the best chance you have of getting funded. And I don't think you've done that today.
I think where I am is there's a bit too much ambiguity in the numbers, and especially in terms of kind of how much room there is in the deal. Also, I'm probably not the best to handhold you through something like this, so not for me today, but thank you for coming.
I think the problem with this particular deal is it falls down to the basics. I think you're overpaying for it, and I also think you have underestimated the refurb costs. I know you've got family in the trade and all of that, but it's actually the material costs of doing the soundproofing and the fireproofing and making separate dwelling units. That all is stuff that you have to buy rather than get a relative to provide as labour, if you see what I mean. I think you've underestimated that, and for that reason, I mean, this type of deal, you can do these in the same area with better margins. I think this is a fish you want to toss back in the sea, cast your rod again, get another one, and then come back to me.
Sounds good.
Material prices are going through the roof at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
So this is on a deal that's marginal. You're going to be really pushed.
But it's all about the price, isn't it? I mean, if Sukha came in with a price of 400,000, we'd all be running around.
Sure.
Wanting to do the deal, and it's all about the selling is in the buying. It's all about buying at the right price, and you've got to be tough. And as a doctor, you're a very caring, kind, decent, caring person, unlike the five of us here. And you just need to toughen up a little bit on that, because it is a different business. It's a business, and you're not in a business. I understand that. You're caring for it, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. But this is a business, and you just got to probably be a little bit tough and a little bit harder when you're looking to negotiate.
Yeah, look, I think it's unfortunate. I like the area. I've lived in this area for 5 or 6 years. I think your train of thought is right. All the things you've been saying are right, and I think it's even a deal you could potentially make work yourself. I don't think it's really a deal you want to be bringing one of us into, because I look at it and think, well, for that to work for me, I'd need to be doing the whole thing. I think that's my feedback on sort of presenting to a panel like us is. There needs to be a bit more meat on the bone and a bit less complications, but it doesn't mean you can't make that work yourself. I agree with the guys that you seem to be kind of, it's not, the purchase isn't a deal. You're paying retail for this property, and you need to have a bit of an edge, a bit more of an edge to make this a bit more attractive.
I have to disagree with Paul there. I don't think you should do this deal at the current purchase price.
At all.
Quite
no.
frankly, I would
agree.
Go back.
Okay.
See if it comes back to you.
Sukha, thank you very much for coming today,
Thank you.
and we very much appreciate it. And I don't think you're too far off. You just need to tighten the figures up, as Helen says, tighten the price up, and you've got yourself a deal.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Thank you very much for coming today. Thank you.
Thanks.
So how did you get on?
Didn't exactly go to plan, didn't manage to get an investment, but it was a good learning experience. And
Okay, that's a shame. Tell us a little bit of the feedback then that you got.
so it was mainly around, I think, the purchase price. So I think
Okay,
I was
too
told
high?
too high, and potentially not showing all the avenues where you can add value. So I've learnt quite a lot from that, and you never know, that if this deal's not one, there might be another one there.
Well, best of luck.
Brilliant, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Nice guy, lovely guy.
I love this type of deal. I just didn't think there's enough money in it.
No, no.
Overpaying
If it was a
on the
£400,000, we'd all be, as I said, 400 grand, we'd all be interested, wouldn't we?
If you knew his return on cost and return on GDV, it would have been a better
He
start.
clearly doesn't run the surgery.
Doesn't do the bookkeeping.
Doesn't do the bookkeeping bit, but he's obviously very decent, and he's just got to sharpen up and be a bit
And he
bit
will.
tougher. And
He'll
he will
get that
do.
with
He
more
will do.
experience. It's only
Yeah.
his second deal, so
Exactly.
he will.
Giuseppe, welcome to Property Elevator.
My pleasure.
It's lovely having you with us. Where have you come from today?
From London.
So tell us about that project then.
This project is in Derby.
Derby.
We already got 2 properties over there. This will be the 3rd one.
Okay, so you know the area quite well.
Yes, we are very familiar. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. And what are you after? What investment? How much?
We are looking for £280,000
Sure.
for the whole project, the purchase and the refurbishment.
Nice. Well, good luck.
Thank you
I'll
very
have a
much.
chat to you when you come out.
Thank you very much.
See you in a bit.
Giuseppe, thank you very much for coming to see us today.
Pleasure.
Would you like to just tell us a bit about yourself and then a bit about the deal, please?
Yeah. So my name is Giuseppe. I'm from Italy. I moved to London 4 years ago. And after I worked in the hospitality industry, I was able to build relations with people. So I realized I can use this relation for myself. 1.5 years ago, I started my journey in the property industry. And I built a team because the goal is big. So I needed a team to go in this journey.
Yep.
So I'm here today and my team is working on the deal and the project and the next deal. So this is why. And the deal is in Derby. The project is 7 double en suites with the open kitchen space, and there already is a bathroom existing next to the kitchen. So it will be 7 double en suites with the one bathroom guest. So we could add value on this one, and then we decide to go with this deal.
Why do you need a? Sorry, do you mind if I jump
No,
straight in there
please
on the shared bathroom? Why do you need a shared bathroom when you've got 7 en suites?
Because it's already existing. If we can break if we break the bathroom, maybe we're gonna spend a lot of money, and we decided maybe with this bathroom we can achieve more GDV in the end.
I doubt you would. I mean, the GDV is going to be really driven by the investment valuation on the income.
Yeah.
I don't think the bathroom's going to add any extra income.
No, but this is why it was the big deal. Maybe, okay, we can leave it. We can use it as a utility room as well. Maybe we can put the washing machine
there's
inside.
a better use for it, exactly.
Yeah, and this was the plan, like
Yeah.
bathroom gas and then the washing machine, and we can use
Much
it
better
for
idea,
this
yeah.
reason.
What are you looking for from us today?
I'm here today, obviously, for the money for the deal, but not is the priority. For me, it's important even your expertise for the next project we want to do. This deal at the beginning was different, but obviously I received the call and say, okay, I need to pitch this deal anyway.
Yep. No, that's
Maybe it's
okay.
not appealing for you, but I say, okay, I will pitch it anyway.
No, well, we're very glad you're here. So very glad you're here. So,
But you're saying you can fund it yourself without us anyway. You just want the experience.
I want to be honest with you. My solicitor is ready with the searches of the property.
yep.
And already opened the doors with other investors.
Yep.
And I'll tell you this one, as I said, relationship. For the other project, we're going to finish in 10 days in Derby, is 2 miles away. And the same investor is invested in that property, is rolling the money for this property as
Bit
well.
greedy, aren't they? They are, aren't they?
So he's
So you
happy
don't
to
have a deal.
work
So
with
this
us.
deal's funded. We can't offer on this deal today.
The contract is not in place yet. This is why I say, okay,
so-
I'm going to pitch anyway.
This deal's available. If we want
Yes.
to invest
Great.
in it, yeah.
Okay.
And
Is
what
it
sort
still
of
available?
investment do you need today?
The investment is £280,000.
Yep.
And the purchase price is 198, and then for the refurbishment is £67,000 with the contingency already inside. And what we are looking with investors is, as I said, the expertise as well. But even I put 3 options on the last page of the
yeah.
presentation about how we can pay the investment back.
What are those fees, those 12k fees? How do they break down?
I put it as a fee, the architect, the broker,
see.
so
Those
list all of these
Yes,
fees.
yes, yes.
With the three options on the back, it seems that you're looking for a loan as opposed to a partner.
Yeah, this is why I said I put as investment for, because this presentation was already with the other people as well.
Right.
So this is why you can see the three options on the
So
last page
if an
as a
angel-
loan. It looks like a loan.
So if an angel were to offer you the money, are you open to sharing the profit?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Great. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
When was you've got a current HMO license, what, a 5-year
Yeah.
new one? Was there an HMO license previous to that?
This was already a HMO
2001.
license since 2001,
Yeah.
and
Right,
every
yeah,
5
okay.
years, obviously, they
Fine.
update. And this one is from the December 2017, and it will expire the next year in December 2022.
Okay, and it's licensed for 7 people?
7 people.
And the last 5-year period was 7 people?
Yes, correct. But it's in poor condition, as you can see from the video and the current situation. And this is why it's with 7 bedroom and just 2 bathroom.
Great. I mean, I'm asking because that 7th bedroom ordinarily would be a planning application.
Yes,
to get
correct.
permission
This
for
is
it,
why it's
so-
already sui generis, and it's
Yeah,
already with the
perfect.
license in place until next year.
Do you have a lawful development certificate for it? It's just worth asking because it just kind of solidifies that planning
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
I think you've got plenty of evidence to argue it, but it's always nice
It's
to
already
have that.
when the solicitor is working on that, and even the architect is in charge for doing this job. We don't get any issue at all.
And in terms of paying back an angel, what's the plan for that? You'd refinance
Yes, correct.
to repay the angel, and would that be on the bricks and mortar valuation or the
It's a
commercial?
commercial.
The commercial.
Even the
value,
other
okay.
property we got,
Right.
we got the commercial valuation,
Right.
and I can tell you the numbers if you want for the other
Yeah,
project
please.
as well.
We love numbers here.
I know, you are the best on number. The analysis.
A reputation precedes her.
Yeah, but it's important. I done a research for each of you, so it's important.
I'd like
to
to
know.
think what he thinks of me.
What did you find out? What did you find
I done for you as well. So the other property we are in the stage of refinancing. So we're gonna get the refinancing in the end of the month, and we bought the property 135. Fee cost was around £10,000, and the refurbishment was £101,000. And we spent in total the cost 250,000. And the new valuation will be, we got the valuation in place 400k. And it's a 2-studio self-contained. We done the loft conversion and extension, and the 4 double and suite. But high standard, it means decoration, all of this stuff. We're not looking about to buy cheap and then just a basic decoration.
How many have you done before?
We done, it's already working one project in Derby, and this one will be the second one, the third one, and the second one is gonna finish in 10 days. More or less.
Do you have anything else aware? Or is it just Derby?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
We're already looking at another place because at my team, I built a team with the 4 people. So everyone has the different roles.
Who are those 4 people? Tell us about the setup.
Yes, I set up this company, and you can see from the name is a Go For It. This is the destiny of the story. We
Like
are
the name.
the background from Italy,
I like that.
but we are here from a long time. I moved 4 years ago. I'm the new one, but it's the guy. I know what I needed to achieve a big goal.
And why did you pick Derby?
So we say in London, the amount of money we
Yeah,
need to
too
invest
much. Yeah, I
is
agree.
too much.
Yep.
How we can get the same return in other place,
Yep.
but not up north like Newcastle or Sunderland. We decided to go in Midlands for even the factory industries are in Derby.
DE22, is that central?
This property is a 14 minutes walk to the shopping center. Is a 15 minutes walk to the hospital. This is why we're looking for professional. Maybe they work in the hospital.
You mentioned at the back needing the money for 12 months. Is there a reason for that? I assume this wouldn't take very long.
As we said, we're always looking for the worst case scenario. So we are looking to start the next month, middle of August. We already architect in place, builder, they're already working on that. And it takes 12 weeks to complete everything. Obviously, you need to maybe add 1 month more just in case. So I think we can do even before, but just in case we say 12 months.
I'm not a great fan of HMO.
I know.
However, you're very impressive. You've got your team together. You're organised. I love to hear all that. If it was a bigger deal, then I would be, although it is HMO, I would be interested if it was bigger. For me, it's a little bit small. However, if you get moving and do some bigger deals, more than one at once or something like that, so we can get our teeth into something, then I would be very interested in the future. And for me, you know, I'm very pleased you've come to see us today.
Thank you very much. My end goal is this one.
Yeah,
So it's going to
very
be a long
good.
journey for me.
No, you're on the right lines, that's for sure.
I'm in a kind of similar position. HMO isn't kind of really my thing, but you are doing something right if you've got an investor that's invested with you before and they've come back again and they're happy to roll. You're doing something right. You're keeping them happy. You've obviously delivered on what you said you were going to deliver on, which is critical for investor relations. So I'm really delighted to hear that. You're very charming. You're very personable. It seems like you know what you're doing. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you go from strength to strength.
Thank you very much.
I think it's just not my bag anymore. I do a lot of HMOs. I haven't done one in a few years now. We manage what we got, and it's the area
I
as
want to
well.
come
I
out
don't
of
really
retirement.
do.
Do you know where Derby is, by the way?
I know where Derby
You
is,
do?
but I will say you've picked a good area. That's one of the optimum areas for doing this sort
Is
of
it?
stuff.
That's interesting.
In terms of a balance
Yeah,
between yield
yeah,
and a bit of
yeah,
capital
yeah.
appreciation, a lot of my students are doing this sort of thing in this sort of area.
Thought
and
you
it
get
gives
that bit
good
in
balance.
somewhere.
What's that? Well, I've got to say how I know, because I don't know it from personal experience, because I don't do that area.
No.
I do them, you know, in areas which don't work anymore, but they work to maintain it. Anyway, for that reason, it's not for me. But I think if you had something else,
Yeah.
I'll give you my card later. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you very much.
You know, 12 months it says here, you said 12 weeks, it's probably somewhere in between those two lengths of time. But what do you think is the reality?
In 12 weeks time, 16 weeks time, we're finishing the project. And this is why we take a couple of months more, because you never know with the refinancing, but we agree on that money and we pay back that money to the investor, which we pay monthly. We're rolling a part monthly and a part in the end of the refinancing, because obviously the investor need to see the commitment of paying, because it's easy to say, okay, you give me my money, I will pay you in the end, and maybe I don't pay you back. So this is why it's important. And the other thing, we like to involve people, not every single week, but every month with my investors, because it's not, I say, just pounds. I just send a message, hey man, look, this is the project, this is the update, so they feel better.
What interest are you paying them?
In October, we bought 2 properties at the same time. And as you know, in England, you have the law which until the last day, the vendor can say, I don't want to sell anymore. So we agreed with this investor with £150,000 for 2 projects, which was the half of this project and half of the other one in Derby. We done all of the paperwork. And the end, 1 week before the completion of the exchange of the other property, the vendor say, no, I want to sell anymore. And we lost £10,000. And when I say entrepreneur, you need to solve a problem, we say, okay, keep going. Because the rest of the refurbishment and the purchase, we done with the bridging. Okay, because my networking, it wasn't big enough to find another investors. But at one point I say, I don't want to lose these 2 projects. So we say, move forward. And with these investors, we agree with the 2% per month. But you know why? We got a good chunk of money in this profit. I say, guys, we need to move anyway. We can't lose £10,000 here.
No wonder they want to roll over, though.
I know. I know. It's a kind of bit of sharks, but I say, okay, move forward.
That's no
I'm
way.
honestly with you guys.
That's no way to describe Ranjan. He's still in.
No. I want to be honest with you guys. I know it was a bit like a sharks, but I say, guys, we need to, because you know why? When you work for 6 months to found a good project, to do it, and then at the end you found it, I say to the guys, okay, guys, if we don't do these projects, it's going to be very frustrating for us. So I say, maybe sacrifice ourselves now. I literally, with my full job, I paid a bit of the interest, because obviously you don't have amount of money in the bank account.
You don't want to be with sharks. That's a different show. You're here with angels. So
No,
you're
no,
in the
no,
right
I
place.
know. But this is a part of our journey. At
That was
least
quite a good one, Ranjan.
Oh, thank you. I do. If you crack enough jokes, one of them will be funny.
One of them will get aired if you're lucky.
It was frustrated even because it was during the lockdown and I couldn't meet no one. So send the wet signature and then send the paper, send by post, and then I haven't received it. Send it again.
Yeah.
I said, guys, we need to move.
But you've demonstrated in what you've just said that you can deal with pressure, you can deal with a problem, and you can analyse it and come out the other side. And that is very important to an investor, very, very important to an investor. So Ranjan, you're not in, no?
No.
Paul, how are we
Something
getting
else,
on?
yes.
I just think it's a little bit tight for, you know, if I was to just look at the numbers, 280 odd thousand, 285, 280 is it? You know, look, there's about 100 to 130 grand profit or thereabouts.
Not bad.
Yeah, but if I split it with you, I'm only getting 50 on my 280.
What's
in 12 months, which isn't great.
So we are very confident on 7-bedroom double and suites, plus the open kitchen space, modernized and the high standard quality, to achieve between 400 and 435. So if you're gonna achieve, we see the best case scenario, 435, the 75% will be around 330,000 pounds. Okay? So with that money, you can get a very good profit for you. But more than the profit, you have me.
Very good. That's normally the other way around, isn't it?
What's the shareholding between the four of you guys? All 25%?
Right now, the setup is at 33% three each, but we're going to reward in the end of the year when maybe the property journey is going to be maybe a bit better to be full.
That's very interesting. On that basis, I'm going to make you an offer, and it's better than what you've asked for.
Ooh.
So?
I'm going to offer you to mentor you weekly, but I want 20% of your business as your fourth partner.
Okay, basically 80% is for us and 20% is for you.
Correct.
Okay, it's 20
And I'll
each.
help you build your business.
Maybe we can share the Hampshire development you do it.
Absolutely. I'll take you to my sites. I'll show you everything. I'll show you how to do the big stuff.
I know I already talked with my team before. Yesterday we went to the stadium, and in extra time I say,
Oh, really?
tomorrow
Excellent.
I'm going to pitch in the property elevator, so you need to be ready for
Yeah.
every offer maybe we got in place. I was already on that
Confidence.
offer, to be fair.
Love that.
But I think, anyone else?
I think that's a really good offer.
That's fabulous.
That's a very generous
I
offer.
didn't say no yet, yeah, I just say if
No,
someone
Yeah,
else
Of
got
course,
the offer.
of course.
Yeah, I can't beat that. I think you should go with that.
So the only offer in place is yours.
Well, you can turn me down. You need to make the right decision for your business.
I came here today just to, I know was maybe the early stage, because I know the project you've done so far, or each of you, but maybe you started how I started now.
Sure, we all did. We all did. We all did.
And
Yeah.
I think if you want to grow the business, you need to, I don't say you need to leave chunk of money or chunk of the business, but you need to be realistic and say maybe you have more expertise. Maybe you can give me, and it's worth more than 20% of my business. So
So you want to offer me more than 20% of your business?
no, you say 20%. You say 20%. Word is better to sign the
I went too
contract,
low,
right?
didn't I? I went too
Word
low.
is better to sign the
There's
contract.
four of us. I should have gone 25. I was very
you should
generous.
really.
Maybe we can do 15.
Ah,
If you put 25, we can do 15.
I'll be honest. I was going to offer 25 to make it equal partners.
Okay.
And I went to 20, to be fair. So I kind of negotiated with myself before offering. So
it's got a
I-
conscience.
I like the fact you've tried to counter, and I respect that. And I know that you're going to work hard for this business.
I went through many difficult times, so this is for me, it's easy.
I need it to be 20%.
And for
to be
me, it's the
interesting.
pain into the gain, so
I understand.
it's
Yeah.
not option or losing, it's winning, that's
Oh,
it.
100%.
So I don't have any doubt.
I'm
Okay,
buying
Nicolas.
into you guys. as
Welcome
people.
on board.
Yeah? Awesome.
I need to shake hand like this.
Fantastic.
Great decision.
How did we get on?
It went very, very well.
Good. So that's the deal?
Better than a deal.
Really? Okay.
Better than a deal because I
How?
think that relationship is better than the deal itself.
Interesting.
So one of the angel didn't invest in a deal itself, but he invested in the business.
wow.
So
That's a first.
we're gonna have a
for us here.
mentoring, and I think for the next deal we're gonna get a very good relationship to work with.
Oh, well, congratulations. Really, really pleased for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was my
Thank you.
pleasure.
Wow.
What a nice guy.
And you got yourself
What
a
drive?
business partner
Got
as
a
well
bus-
as
got a new
a
business partner.
project.
Fantastic.
Wow.
I think you've done a
Fantastic.
fantastic job, and that's a great deal.
Because the deal's too small on its own.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's
But if
what,
they can
what I
knock
was
2 or
saying,
3 of those
really.
out a year,
Yeah. Oh, crikey! I mean,
And I
he
can-
will grow as quickly as you want him to.
yeah.
And with
that's-
your
that's it.
experience and knowledge.
Turbocharge him.
Yeah, it's a great, it's
Exciting.
a win-win, which is how
Exciting.
it should be. You know, we want people to leave this room having felt that they've won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's important to us.
Wow, what a day it's been. We've seen some outstanding deals come through, and we have some very happy angels and investors. Not everyone got what they wanted, but hopefully everyone had a lot of fun and they've been left with some great feedback from our angels. I'm Elizabeth and you've been watching Property Elevator.